Eller är skräcken för den så kallade svininfluensan som nu sprider sig över världen. Frågan är hur befogad den skräcken är och om det verkligen handlar om en pandemi. När WHO kallar en smitta för pandemi så får det långtgående konsekvenser både för samhällsinstitutioner och företag. Men ansedda forskare ifrågasätter nu själva pandemibegreppet och även den planerade massvaccineringen. För en stund sedan pratade jag med en oberoende forskare knuten till det högt ansedda Cochrane-institutet som utvärderar olika behandlingsmetoder. En forskare som är mycket kritisk till larmet som går över världen.
This one seems to be a pretty mild form of disease, so I'm not sure that I understand all this worry, but there may be good reasons for it.
But now you say it's not serious, but in Sweden, for example, we prepare for mass vaccinations. Isn't that necessary according to you?
Vaccination in a pandemic, or so-called pandemic vaccines, well, we never know whether they'll work, because of course there is no target virus to test the vaccine against, usually. Pandemic vaccines and other vaccines are registered before the virus is around. And so it's a gamble whether these vaccines will work. What the evidence shows from the hundreds of studies that we have reviewed is that these vaccines have got a performance which is not very good, and they work best in healthy adults, i.e. those who've got good immune systems in the first place, and for which they usually are not recommended.
What do you do yourself to try to not get infected by this new virus?
I wash hands, I don't shake hands anymore, I keep my distance from people, and I wash hands of my children, especially when they come back from school, and I insist that my older children are not at school anymore to wash their hands continuously. And this is what is proven to work.
But you give one picture here of this flu not being so serious, but the WHO gives another picture and they call it a pandemic. What do you say about calling this flu a pandemic?
Well, it's a good point. I don't understand what a pandemic is anymore. And the reason for that is as follows. In 2003, WHO described an influenza pandemic as follows. An influenza pandemic occurs when a new influenza virus appears against which the human population has no immunity, resulting in several simultaneous epidemics worldwide with enormous numbers of deaths and illness. Sometime in May 2009, this definition changed as follows. An influenza pandemic may occur when a new influenza virus appears against which the human population has no immunity. In other words, what they've done is they've taken out the part that referred to simultaneous outbreaks, high morbidity, that's a very high number of severe cases, and mortality. So now this definition, this 2009 definition, could very well fit seasonal influenza. So I don't understand what the difference is anymore.
But who is gaining this from this altered definition of a pandemic?
Oh, the new definition lowers the threshold. It makes a pandemic now and possibly a pandemic going on for some time. And it obviously favors those who have to sell products, including research, of course. Let's not forget. And the media, as well as the pharmaceutical industry.
Tom Jefferson, forskare knuten till Cochrane-institutet alltså.